Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Locked On Flames. Tonight's line changes have everyone up in arms and going back to disaster mode, and quite literally caused a physical reaction from me. And will tonight's Battle of Alberta be that bad? Find out more on today's episode of Locked On Flames.
You're Locked On Flames, your daily podcast on the Calgary Flames. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Jess Belmosto of the Metropolitan Riveters Public Relations team, and today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. So if you see behind me, I have my little Matthew Tkachuk, little Funko Pop, and I have my Johnny Gaudreau signed puck, and then this neon sign that says hockey from Bring Hockey Back. But it's not exactly showing up the way that I thought it would. So we will figure that out. So today's it's gonna be some nice backlighting. I hope you're all doing well. Remember to subscribe to Locked On Flames wherever you get your podcasts. As always, it's free. Happy to support your podcast if you support mine. It's a 1-for-1 deal here. But what in the actual HE double hockey stick are these lines going into tonight's game against the Edmonton Oilers? Pat Steinberg tweeted out that the lines, and if you just scroll through the replies, it's bad. These lines caused a physical reaction from me personally, and let's talk about that second line, okay? Like, the good thing here is that Tyler Toffoli has a decent line mates. The bad thing is that Trevor Lewis is on the second line. So your first line stays the same, and then you have Coleman, Backlund, and Lewis. And then your third line goes to Mangiapane, Ruzicka, and Tyler Toffoli, which I think could be a good line, productive third line, whether it be just chipping away at those minutes and playing good two-way hockey or putting up numbers. And then you have your fourth line, Lucic, Monahan, and Dubé. I don't know where to start here because this really did cause like a physical reaction from me seeing Trevor Lewis up on that line. I don't know what he has on Daryl Sutter, but I think we just need to really talk about it. Time to get the lawyers involved, time to sign a lifelong NDA and just like move past it, because I get that you're trying to shut down McDavid here, right? Like, you're trying to shut down Draisaitl, you're trying to shut down McDavid, and unfortunately Evander Kane as well. And while you're doing this, you're demoting Mangiapane, who has been one of your most productive players this season. And I trust Daryl Sutter. I do, but at the same time, I do not trust this uh the players that he is promoting. I don't really trust Trevor Lewis at all to be able to successfully carry second line minutes. I hope I'm wrong. I do, but he's an older guy who does not see those type of minutes, typically like double his minutes, and I'm just uncomfortable. I'm truly uncomfortable with it. And then you have Lucic and Monahan getting the demotion to the fourth line, which makes sense. I know that people on Twitter have been talking about Monahan being an easy target, but when you aren't producing and you aren't even able to get like secondary assists, then yeah, you're going to become someone that's going to be talked about. You're going to be talked about in a negative way, especially when you've been given chance after chance. And I personally think that Lucic has, I don't want to say regressed because he's older. He is an older player. This isn't, his time to shine anymore, unfortunately. But, he's kind of taken that step back. And it's not that he's playing bad hockey by any means. He's just playing just very different hockey than he was playing the first half of the season, and that's okay because he can still go out there and put up, some like he can go out there and be a defensive hockey player, when a defensive forward when you need him to. But Sean Monahan, you guys, like this really stinks because I've always joked around calling him a poor man's David Krejci, but I truly never thought that it would get to this point. I know that he needs to fully heal and get better, but I don't know, this just feels kind of unacceptable for the amount of money you're paying him. And I hope that in a few years we can look back and laugh and say, see, Jess, like these were such awful takes. But I just, this Sean Monahan situation has kind of gotten out of hand for me. I don't know what his 9-10 team, no movement, no trade clause entails, and I cannot imagine that I, I don't think he'll be on the move by the end of the month. I don't. I think that his contract is too big, and I'm sure I'll talk about this later this week in the show. But again, Lucic and Monahan being on the fourth line makes sense. Neither have been truly offensively productive, and you need them to just eat the minutes. So you're gonna get what you get there, and unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to just you just have to make the most of it. You really do. But coming up next, we're going to talk about tonight's game plan and what I think Milan Lucic should like truly go out and do tonight. But before we get into that, we need to talk about athletic greens. Our partner has a product that my boyfriend uses every day. He started taking athletic greens because this poor kid, he has such a sensitive stomach, and he really wanted to get his gut, in order, and and just not what it was. He wanted to get it a little bit healthier, and he's been taking athletic greens now for probably 5 days, and he loves it. It doesn't taste like it's when you put it in supplements and it doesn't you get that nasty grittiness, and you're kind of like, am I drinking like dirt? Well, it doesn't do that. It doesn't taste like anything like that. It has like this mild kind of tropical taste, and he looks forward to it. I am looking forward to starting it as well. Just waiting for confirmation from my doctor because we do be a little medical ball over here. But what is this? We're probably wondering, what am I talking about? It is this delicious 1 scoop of athletic greens. You are absorbing 75 high quality vitamins, mineral, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and ad- adaptogens. And this is to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. Honestly, like, I need my doctor to hurry up and answer this phone call so I can get back and, like, start this, and my boyfriend is truly loving it. Um, he takes it, he mixes it with his water every morning and brings it to work. Your AG1 benefit is just, he doesn't come home and crash. I noticed that he's more focused and more in tune with his own body and day. And it's lifestyle friendly, and if you have that sensitive stomach, it's come on, you're preaching to the choir here. Uh, the Athletic Greens founder was experiencing a lot of gut health problems, and he actually was spending up to $100 a day. So he said, nope, I'm going to create my own supplements and figure this out and get this cheaper. But to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NHL network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/NHL network to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily insurance. And yeah, so it's a lot of good stuff over there. So thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Locked On Flames. As always, thank you for supporting the show and making us part of your day. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your favorite shows and leave us a 5-star rating and review because we greatly appreciate it. I got a review this weekend that said, I don't have any hockey knowledge. Made me laugh. I would love to see somebody jump into this and then host through a pause and then the bubble and then a really bad team that doesn't make the playoffs 5 days a week, okay, for the last 2 years. Okay? So leave me something nice. Be nice, okay? So tonight's game plan. There's one thing I want to see. One thing I want to see, and that is Milan Lucic beating the absolute daylights out of Evander Kane. Okay? Listen, I know Evander Kane on the ice is like, oh, who wouldn't want him on this team? Me, because of that off ice problems and all of the issues that he has caused. And you know what? I think it's fair. Logan Mailloux got his lights beaten, the daylights kicked out of him the other night in front of his hometown crowd. Let's do it. Welcome to the Battle of Alberta, honey. There are no I don't even know what the right word is. This isn't a safe space. It gets ugly. And you're first. I think that Lucic should step up and do it. You know, y'all know I don't really advocate for fighting for unnecessary reasons, but Evander Kane has checked off all of those boxes. And someone's got to teach him a lesson. All right. Well, beloved Mike Smith is out, and Koskinen is in tonight against the Flames. He is 19-8-3 with a .904 save percentage and goals against average just above 3, and has one shutout of the season, but he is looking for his 20th win. Jacob Markstrom, obviously much better player, much better goaltender. You just got to get silly and embarrass this team. You know, I think it's very easy to say, "Oh, well, they're still kind of in the playoff picture." Yeah, it's the Pacific Division, babes. Not many competitive teams there. You know, the Flames are in first place. Vegas isn't, like everyone had. So let's just humble everyone again. But I just this team just like doesn't have confidence. By this team, I mean the Oilers. They were Connor McDavid was asked about the loss like to the to the Canadians, like the 5-2 loss. He goes, "We just weren't good enough. They're a team that has obviously been playing well since their coaching change. They were better than us tonight. There was maybe a little fatigue, I guess, but that is no excuse." Certainly sounds like an excuse. We have to be better out of the gate. Their power play was good, ours wasn't. That was kind of the difference for sure. Okay, that's great. So again, you have no confidence in your team since the coaching change. You have no confidence in your power play units. And you're willing to blame fatigue. Okay, good. And then there was a quote today somewhere that talking about how missing the playoffs isn't an option. It can be. I think we should remind the Oilers of what's waiting there for them, and that's 28 goal Matthew Tkachuk, or sorry, 27 goals from him, 28 goal Mangiapane. That first line is very terrifying. Jacob Markstrom wouldn't even sign with the Oilers, even though they offered him more money than the Flames. He said, skirt, skirt, no. So, I think, we need to remind them that they could have had a franchise-changing goaltender, but he decided to stay in Calgary, or decided to go to Calgary instead. That's, I'm sure that is truly like an ego bruise, and every time they have to face the Flames, they are truly reminded of all the things that went wrong there. But I truly don't think that the Oilers are like, I'm obviously not writing this team off because you truly never know what's going to happen. But the way that tonight's going to go is truly all dependent on that first period. I think it's going to depend how the Flames hit the ice, how the Oilers show up, and if McDavid is wants to give it his all, or I think back to that night where he had like 5 goals in one game, and then Austin Matthews, he had 4, and there's always that conversation of, oh, who's the better player. But no, I think Johnny's going to go out there and show them like, he needs to be in serious consideration for the Hart Trophy, and that it shouldn't just go to McDavid because he plays in Edmonton every year. Like that's not fair regardless. And I think that, Oliver Shillington looked good. I think that obviously that scary collision he had into the boards, I think that he's obviously doing okay. Um, Everyone looked good during the game against Colorado besides Milan Lucic and uh, Sean Monahan. So again, I get it. They're the scapegoats of the team, but go out there and make yourself useful. Like, that's all I have to offer at this point with them because I don't know what else you can offer. So, coming up next, we're going to talk about a little bit of the recap from the Colorado overtime win and just what the Flames need to do to keep trending in the right direction. And before we do that, we are going to talk about BetOnline AG. Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pro and college hoops. From the latest odds, totals, player performance props to where the next fired coach might land, betonline.net is the number one spot for all of your sports betting needs. BetOnline remains the best spot for all your sports scores and news this season. And they do have more than just basketball. They have hockey, boxing, UFC odds, and right down to the March Madness coverage as well. So head on over to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and actions. Bet online, where the game starts. Built Bars are another delicious protein snack that you can use to make your life a little bit healthier. They are just delicious tasting protein bars that everybody should use to get them through their days. I think that they're just such a delicious snack. And the puffs, have you guys tried the puffs? The puffs are just a heavenly snack that don't taste like something that should be as good for you as they are. They are a fan favorite with incredible flavors such as the cinnamony churro, coconut marshmallow, banana cream pie, and these are going to be some of your favorites. All the Built Bars are covered in 100% chocolate and 100% real chocolate as well. It's high in fiber, low in calories, low in sugar, all those good parts of the food that y'all need to get you through your day. And most Built Bars contain less than 150 calories, less than 5 grams of sugar, and have 17 grams of protein. So head on over to built.com today and use promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off of your next order. That is promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off of your order at built.com. I was watching this Colorado game, right? And something clicked with me. The last 2 games have gone to overtime, right? And I think the Flames, this happens every season with every team regardless, right? And they kind of fall into this rut where like they go to overtime a lot, and then maybe they go to shootout. Like, things aren't ending in that 60-minute regulation time frame. So things kind of get a little bit more relaxed and loose when you want to be tightening up your game. You want to be playing those stronger games, especially against stronger teams like Colorado. So, you're walking away with or skating away with a point, but it's not worth giving that up. I think that this team can easily hang with some of the best in the league, and they've proven that. Especially with the win against Colorado and that performance against Colorado, because, if you go back and you watch some of the goals, they're beautiful. You go back and watch some of those defensive plays, some of the best of the season, And this isn't just like a one-off situation and you where you can say, "Oh, like the Habs beat Calgary, so they're a playoff contending team." No, because for God's sakes, the Ottawa Senators kicked the crap out of the Flames last year, and neither team was a playoff team. Things happen like that. That is what I'm talking about like one-off situations. The Flames have proven themselves time and time again this season why they are not the Calgary Flames from last year. They have consistent lines. They have uh, upgraded their forwards. They have made changes in their defense. They have leadership in their room, and I don't want this to sound like I'm blaming Gio, because that is not what I want, because I was a big fan of Gio. But they have a captainless room, but they have multiple voices for leadership. And yes, there were rumors that Gio lost the room after, potentially standing up for Kachuk against Toronto early in the season, but everyone is on the same page now. There's none of this clickiness that was supposedly happening, and we have consistency. We have the same lines relatively, game in and game out for, for the most part, except for tonight, of course. And there's stable and healthy goaltending. This team is competitive and in shape. You're seeing something that you have not seen from the Flames in quite some time. So for them to go out here and for people to doubt them and say, well, this is just a regular season. This is just them against the Pacific Division. No, it's not. It is absolutely not. These are some serious, playoff contending teams that they're matching up against and going out and beating. They shut out Boston 4-0 back in November. Yeah, they took Colorado to overtime, but they're one of the best teams in the league. They're standing their ground and are proving night after night that they're legit. Sure, you lose to the Habs in overtime. You're not going to win them all. We talked about this. We talk about this all the time. And you're not going to go out and win 7-1 against the Canucks. And instead, they're going to whoop your butt 7-1 and remind you that your win streak can come to an end at the hands of a team that sucks. And that's okay, because it's the regular season. Is that going to happen in the postseason? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But what I can tell you is that this Flames team right here is legit. So stick around for some more, hopefully winning recaps this week. I'll be back here tomorrow to talk about this Battle of Alberta, as well as, the next game, because this is the first half of a back-to-back. And on Wednesday, Audie will be joining me to talk. Audie is the new co-host, popping in twice a week to talk about the Flames. And we are two very opinionated people, so it is going to be fun up in here. Thank you all so much for tuning in and subscribing to Locked On Flames wherever you get your podcasts. And thank you so much, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.